I need to ask you two really important questions here. Do you estimate projects at night and on weekends? And would you like to spend more time with your family? If you want to improve on those two critical questions, I have the perfect solution that will really help for both. Welcome to Ryder & Company, your resource for construction estimating technology. How about a free concrete estimating spreadsheet that does the work of 3 to 6 estimators? I know it sounds crazy, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So hold on to your chair and watch this concrete estimating takeoff done in seconds. Not hours, not days, not weeks, just seconds. This is the free Estimating and Takeoff spreadsheet that comes with the purchase of the Excel plugin for Electronic Plan Takeoff. It's extremely important to note that your answers to the takeoff dimensions and questions will automatically calculate your labor, material, and equipment quantities and price your concrete in detail, complete. Alright, so here we have a slab on grade, and I took off some slab on grade. I'm going to take off additional areas to accumulate, and so I hit the takeoff button for area, and what comes up the takeoff I've done before. You can see it right over there in blue hatching. And now I'm going to take off an additional part of this slab on grade. And so I'm sliding the drawing up, as you can see, so you can see it a little bit clearer. I'm just sliding it up a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start clicking the corners of where the extents of the slab on grade. As you see, you just click with your mouse on the different corners of the edges of the slab. And when you're done, it puts it right over here in a list. Your Excel descriptions are here in the list. When you're done, what do you press? The Done button. And as you can see, it transfers it all to this sheet in Microsoft Excel. Then you just slide on down and you start answering some specs and dimensions, as you can see. What's the thickness of the gravel? What's the thickness of the concrete in feet? Any edge form or rebar? You just fill in the blanks. And when you're done with those answers, you just slide to the bottom of this spreadsheet. As you can see over here, I have a quantity and estimate concrete tab. When you click that, it actually transfers a photocopy of the information to another tab, and as you see, it transfers it all over here so you remember what you answered. But what's most important over here, once you answer those questions, these quantities, these descriptions of quantities are automatically calculated. No manual calculation here. And as you can see over here, all your quantities are shown over here a little bit to the right of the screen. I'm going to slide the screen over a little bit so you can see a little bit more in detail. And so you see over here the quantity column. I'm highlighting the quantity column, and if there's any conversion, what's in blue, you just change those numbers and automatically changes. I have a waste quantity column. It automatically updates the next column over, the quantity with waste. And now this other column, we're showing you the unit price per those units of measure. Here's your crew makeup, where we have the number of members in the crew at their hourly cost per crew hour or per crew day. You have your production for your crew, and it converts to crew days or crew hours at your total cost of your crew per hour or per crew day. And it extends it on out. So as you see over here, we're accumulating to our total cost column. And it all extends on out. It's a little bit blocked out right now. And now what we're showing you here is the labor burden and overhead and profit column for labor, and then material column, overhead and profit, along with general conditions. And so what we're showing you here is the cost column and the selling price column. So look at that, cost total and your sell total. And what we do is we take the square foot of the slab divided into this total cost or the total sell, and you get your cost per square foot. All right, so here we have a slab, a footing, a strip footing. And actually, I've done some of the strip footings over here, but the process is the same. You highlight what it is you want to go measure, and you hit one of the action buttons. In this case, it's feet. And as you can see over here, I've done a whole bunch of takeoff, and you see it's all outlined in red. And when you're done, as you see, I'm sliding it on up. And just to show you, we could add other footings if we want to, and you just click around and bingo, it updates right there, just like what we did with the slab. When you're done, of course, we hit the Done button, and bingo, there it goes. It updates over here, and you see it accumulating to the total, to 355.28. Now on footings, however, there's a lot more questions we need to ask about excavation, angle of repost for excavated sides, if any, what's the concrete width and thickness, what's the form length and height, if there's anything there. Now what's interesting here is we also have your quantity of rebar in the long direction, and then of course the rebar size of that long rebar. And again, the other direction, the rebar spacing of the short rebar in the opposite direction, and its rebar number. And if there's any dowel spacing or any dowels, you just put in the spacing right there, and guess what? You hit the quantity estimate thing, and it automatically transfers over to the next tab over in the spreadsheet. Like before, we have our quantities all totaled up. It's all automatic. Any conversions are taking place. We have our quantity converted over, and in this case, we actually have some quantities with crew hours, quantities with equipment hours, quantities for materials, and of course quantities for labor. You see some of the conversions over there, the new updated quantity, whatever your waste factors are, and here's the corrected quantity with waste. Here are a column for unit prices, our total cost column, and then again, like before, we have a labor burden column that actually also has overhead and profit, and you change those percentages. And now we have the same thing for material, a material overhead and profit, as well as general conditions to determine the selling price of these footings. And so as we slide over to the left-hand side, we're showing you. We're actually not showing it to you. It's a little bit blurred out for you. But you'll get all the clear stuff when you purchase the Takeoff software. The crew makeup over here and with the production rates are automatically in there. So we have our total cost, our total selling price divided by the linear foot of that footing to give you a cost per linear foot in this case, or cost per cubic yard of concrete installed. Now, wasn't that fantastic? I hope you didn't fall out of your chair. The solution is super easy, super fast, and super accurate. Look, I know you want more time for the more important things in life, right? Remember, the concrete estimating spreadsheet is free. Yes, you heard right, it's free with the purchase of the Electronic Plan Takeoff plugin from Microsoft Excel. So don't delay, call us today at 1-800-482-1014 or email us so we can schedule a live in-depth presentation with you online. You will see much more detail of this fantastic concrete estimating spreadsheet.